put their names on their foundation, but you never see them at the events. They never really do anything. They're not really actively involved. They have a board or they have underlings who do everything for them. Is that the case here, Nate Parker Foundation? That is not the case here. He's very involved, he's active, and he's a part of the Pan-African Film Festival. We thank you for that. So, thank you, Mr. Parker. And now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Miah Harris, who is with the Nate Parker Foundation. She's one of the students from the Nate Parker Foundation. I want a loud, crazy round of applause for Miss Miah.
Try. Can we try again, please? Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Nate Parker Foundation premiere event. My name is Miah Harris. I was on the directing team for the 2017 Institute. We are truly excited to showcase and debut two of our short films, Hashtag and Baggage, created by some of our, all of our Summer Film Institute students. Can we give them a round of applause? To thank the Pan-African Film Festival for partnering with us for this event. We're just so excited. I'm so excited and I'm nervous. Right after the screenings, we will have a Q&A. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our co-founder and chairman, Mr. Nate Parker.
How you guys doing? Everyone good? I'm going to say a few words and then get out of the way and allow us to see some of this wonderful work from the young people. I want to recognize my co-founder, Brian Favors, who will be on the panel. He'll stand up with me. So a little bit about Brian before I get into the thank yous and everything. I wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this brother finding me when I was an 18-year-old kid hopping around campus with goals to play sports, but no real goals to know who I was, to explore my identity, no real sense of cultural responsibility. And he saw something in me in a program he had there called The Bigger Picture, where he aspired to take the leaders of the campus, the athletes, and to teach them about themselves, that he might create cells that will go out into the world and transform our communities. And we started working together around the time I started doing The Great Debaters, and we never stopped. And in that work, he had this aspiration. He said, Nate, we're traveling around. We would go to alternative schools, do spoken word, we do Q&As with films. And he said, why don't we institutionalize some of what we're doing? And we started the Nate Parker Foundation. And the goal of the Nate Parker Foundation is to use film and philanthropy to transform Black lives through education, cultural enrichment, social justice, economic empowerment. And all that we do is basically funneled into those goals through that lens. I use my celebrity to go and ask people for money for the foundation, and when they, we've been blessed enough to be sponsored by and given grants by Ford Foundation and Kellogg Foundation. What we do is we reach out to young people around the country in the inner city, and we give them the opportunity to tell their stories through film. Some of the kids have never been filmmakers. Some are aspiring, but some were in completely different fields. We bring them to Wiley College because I'm a big believer in HBCUs, the importance of why they exist then and now and for the future. So we work with Wiley College and we started this institute. We're 2 years strong, and of those 2 years we have 2 films, and those 2 films are now premiering here. So it's a testament to these young people. Let's give them a hand. So I want to thank Brother Babu. I'm not sure he's here. I'm sure he's running around crazy, but he has been someone who has championed me and my work since my earliest acting stuff. And I told him early on, I believe in what you're doing. There's nothing more important than what we're doing right now, and that is building a bridge between America and the entire diaspora, bringing us together, rebuilding the bridge that was broken so we can celebrate each other and be our own encouragement, to be our own strength and foundation. So I'm committed to the Pan-African Film Festival, and I hope that these young students that have these 2 films here, I have a feeling you'll be hearing from them year after year to come, because they've all branched out and they're doing incredible work. I'm going to introduce 2 of my students now. Ashley and Chad, can you come forward? Oh, Chad and Danielle. They switched it up, see what the papers say. I told, I listen. Danielle, I had the opportunity to accompany her to the Directors Guild yesterday, which is huge. Twinky's here. Twinky, you wave. Oh yes, you shaking no. You going this? She's a legendary casting director. Now she is a director and has a film here at PAFF. I saw her yesterday at the DGA. She said she was going to come, and she's here. I want you to meet all of the students. It's important to meet you. You're an icon in this industry. Danielle, I had the opportunity to accompany her. We got to hear from Brother Danny Glover. We got to hear from Lou Gossett Jr., the legend, Glenn Turman. It was just a wonderful time. Chad had the opportunity to work very closely with him. He was one of those intellectual anchors. He's a thinker. He's a creator. He follows up. Every time we put out a task for someone to do, he raises his hands. He's on all the videos. We're creating the change we want to see, the leadership we want to see in the future right here. So I really want to thank you guys for showing up. I had to pray a couple days ago. I was like, Lord, please let people show up and be interested in what we're doing, because it's important. We need to encourage them so they keep going through all obstacles. So I thank you for being here. There are plenty of places you could have been, so I thank you for that. I'm going to hand it off to them, and you're going to hear from a lot of them today. And just encourage them, and take a look at their work. Our hands are off. We bring them in, and I think Brian, are you going to explain later how we do it? Yeah, he will. So basically, we allow them to figure out ideas, write, direct, produce, star. We are hands off. We teach them for a couple days, teach them culture responsive education, and then get out of their way, and they do the work that you're going to see today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Danielle and Chad.
Hello everybody, I would like to introduce our film called Hashtag, which deals with the trauma that is left in the wake of our loved ones experiencing police brutality and lethal use of force. And I think that's something that we as Pan-Africans can all identify with, no matter where we're from here in the US to London to South Africa, and anywhere where there is police brutality and abuse of power with the government. We can all relate to it and all relate to the experience of trauma that accompanies it. So I hope you guys enjoy Hashtag, and I would like to pass the baton to Chad.
So I'm going to be introducing baggage. Can we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of applause for Danielle? So I'm going to be introducing baggage, and if I'm honest with you guys, I never thought that film was something that I would be involved in. The Nate Parker Foundation really empowered us to create our own film. Baggage is 100%. It's a story it was an original story by one of our students. It was 100% written, produced, and acted in by us. It deals with a very close issue to the hearts of the Black communities, something called colorism. Colorism is a cousin of racism, but if we never fix colorism, if we never find social, political, and economic unity within our own communities, then we can never fix racism. So I hope that you guys enjoy our film. We deal with it in a very lighthearted way. So you guys are going to laugh, you guys are going to cry. We hope that you enjoy our film.